Faults in sparkling wine. In this lesson, we will take what we learnt about normal wines and apply that knowledge to sparkling wines. This is possible because the two are very similar and experience the same faults. We will learn about faults in sparkling wine and bubbles, and storage. Let's start with faults in sparkling wine. Can you remember what the two most common faults with standard wine are? The first is oxidation, and this can be noticed when the wine is slightly discolored or there is an unusual sweetness to the wine. The second is cork taint, and this is noticed by wine having an unpleasant, earthly, moldy or musty smell. When it comes to sparkling wines, exactly the same faults apply, and they apply for the same reasons. This means that if the cork doesn't seal off the bottle entirely, oxygen can enter into the bottle and oxidize it. In the same way, because sparkling wines are sealed with corks, there is also the chance of them being infected with TCA. Next, let's learn about sparkling wine and bubbles. While sparkling wine needs to be treated in exactly the same way as wine when it comes to oxidation and cork taint, there is an added element that needs to be considered when it comes to sparkling wines. Sparkling wines have bubbles. Just like other drinks that have bubbles, the moment the bottle of sparkling wine is opened, it begins to lose its bubbles. If you leave the bottle for long enough, it will eventually be exactly the same as a normal bottle of wine, and this is the last thing we want. Because of this, it is a rule that you may never use a bottle of sparkling wine once it has been opened and stored for more than a day. There is an old fable that says that in order to keep the bubbles in sparkling wine for a longer period of time, you can hang a silver spoon or silver fork in the neck of the bottle. This isn't true and does absolutely nothing to maintain the bubbles. Rather use a champagne stopper to keep the bubbles in the bottle. If you don't have one of these, use a normal cork from a bottle of normal wine. Push it in as far as possible to ensure that no more bubbles are able to escape from the bottle. To end off this lesson, let's take a look at how to store sparkling wine correctly. Sparkling wine needs to be stored in the same way as normal wine. Let's have a quick recap of how to do this. Firstly, sparkling wine bottles should always be stored on their side because this keeps the cork in the bottle moist. It is this moisture in the cork that helps to make the seal in the bottle as effective as possible when it comes to keeping oxygen out of the bottle. Secondly, white and rosé sparkling wines that you intend to serve should always be stored in the fridge. This is because they need to be served at around 9 degrees Celsius to your guests. And lastly, sparkling wine should also always be stored in places where they won't be exposed to direct sunlight or artificial light for extended periods of time. This is why sparkling wines are stored in underground cellars. Not only is it a cool area, protecting the sparkling wine from heat, but it is also a dark area, protecting the sparkling wine from light. Can you remember how you can best extend the life of a bottle of sparkling wine once it has been opened? If you said, place a silver spoon in the neck of the bottle, you're wrong. If you said, use a champagne stopper or wine bottle cork, you are right. Well done on finishing this lesson on faults in sparkling wine and bubbles, and storage.